okay? Be careful with chicken. It's very important to be very careful with chicken, okay? Don't leave it out too long. An hour is the maximum, okay? But cooking meats and proteins, it's best to cook from room temperature. Depends on what the temperature of the room is, but about 70 degrees, 72, 73 degrees. The meat will cook better, it'll have a better texture, and it won't take as long, okay? So what I'm gonna do for my broccoli now, it's blanched. Once again, just put on the fire. Heat the pan. Now I'm just getting rid of the water when I do that. Get it nice and hot, and then when you are blanching, make sure that you use salty water. Not too salty, but you should be able to taste the salt in the water when you're blanching, right? Especially potatoes, any tuber like that. Okay, so the pan's nice and hot. Add a little bit of oil, not too much. And then when I go to saute this, it's just gonna be a very quick 30-second toss. Mainly to just reheat it because it's already cooked to my texture. It needs just a little bit more cooking, okay? And the shorter cooking time will maintain the beautiful green color that I have here. There are many things that you could put with the broccoli, garlic, whatever you wish, chili flakes, etc. Okay, I'm going to keep it nice and clean. Just add the broccoli itself, and it should sizzle a little bit. A tiny little bit of salt. Okay, and a little bit of pepper. I'll turn it down, and it's basically ready to go. Okay, and then turn it off and let the heat in the pan continue to heat the broccoli. Okay, you should never cover green vegetables either. Talking about salt, when I'm doing salting and everything, because I'm making everything from scratch, I am using salt. People are staying away from salt and so high in sodium and everything. That's because a lot of the products that we eat these days, convenience foods and everything, they have a high level of salt for preserving the food, making it last longer in the fridges and everything, okay? But if you're cooking from scratch, you need salt. Don't be afraid to use salt. Use a little bit at a time and then add as it gets closer to the food profile that you're looking for, okay? It enhances things, it tastes better. Put a little bit of salt on an apple and then eat the apple. It tastes better, okay? My puree is also heating, so that's ready to go. So all I really need to do now is get my chicken out of the oven. That should take about 15 to 20 minutes, depending on the size of the chicken. I also have a garnish here, which is just cutouts of pumpkin itself. So I'm keeping the plate harmonized by using pumpkin again, but it's only a garnish, okay? So I'm not reusing the same product, let's say, okay? A hot plate is always beneficial, okay? So what I'm gonna do is quickly heat up these guys. Got a lot of water in the pans. Okay. So I'm just going to heat these guys with a little bit of oil, and a little bit of salt and pepper. And a little bit of oil, a little bit of salt, and just a touch of, actually no, I'm not going to put any pepper on it, because if I put pepper on a garnish like this, it's going to look dirty. All right, so I'm just going to keep it just seasoned with salt. A little bit. Okay, and I'm just going to let those cook for 10, 15, 30 seconds, whatever. And now it's time to get the chicken out. Okay, so here we have, this is the other one that I did earlier, okay? We have nicely browned chicken, okay, golden brown, and the prosciutto has a beautiful color to it, okay? I'm getting more flavors involved in it. The fat is a flavor carrier. There's fat in prosciutto, there's fat in the chicken, okay? Fat is a good thing. Not too much fat though, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let that rest for, I don't know, 2 minutes, a minute, okay, while I get the rest of my plate going. Sauces to go with this, there is an infinite number of sauces that can go with this. White wine reduction sauce, a white wine reduction, a cream sauce, a velouté sauce, supreme sauce, any kind of those sauces. So I'm kind of leaving it neutral today, okay? So I'm going to start with my pumpkin puree. Okay, not too much. Make sure it's properly seasoned as well. I tried it already, so I know it's seasoned properly. And it tastes pretty good. A pumpkin, I used a little bit of honey, a little bit of nutmeg, a tiny little bit of allspice, salt and pepper, and I think that was it. Maybe a quarter of a shallot, okay? So now I have my puree on there, nice hot plate. I can take my chicken. Now I have options. I can cut this in half and present it, or I can cut it into slices and fan it out, or I can leave it whole. Generally, if this was stuffed, I would at least cut it so you could see the work that was involved in preparing it, okay? For this time, I'm just going to cut it on a bias, okay? I'm going to place the chicken like that, and then I'm going to place this one on an angle like that, making sure that you can see the colors of the chicken inside. You can see that it's done. It's beautiful and juicy on the inside. It's not overdone. The prosciutto has a beautiful color, okay? So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place my broccoli. I'm going to use my fingers, pardon me. I'm going to place my broccoli around the chicken and giving it a nice shape, nice color. And if it's al dente, a beautiful texture, okay? And then for my garnish, just use my pumpkin slices, okay? They cook just a little bit too much on the ends, so I'm gonna cut off the ends there a little bit. That's only because I wasn't paying attention, trying to do this. Okay, so there we go. And now I'm just gonna place my garnish on the plate. Okay, and if I wish to garnish it with fresh herbs, for sure, do it. Sage, rosemary, chives, anything, well, not anything. Make sure it's an herb that goes with that dish, okay? Mint is an interesting herb. It can be for savory and it can be for sweet, okay? So once again, just a little bit of chives, and I'm going to put that near the puree, pumpkin puree, because the green will stand out more against the orange than anything else, okay? And then there you go. You have a nice, easy, very easy, super easy meal to sit down and eat, okay? Beautiful white chicken, beautiful green, and you have the oranges to complement with flavors and texture and shape, okay? And color. Great, thank you very much.